lovely folk. This is the Pisces reading. Starting off with a couple things here. Firstly, so much appreciation for all of the new subscribers here. I welcome you to this channel with open arms, and I am truly grateful to have you be a part of this community. Secondly, I've been getting into the transits with every sign with their ruling planet. I am not well versed in this area, so if you feel called to, look into them yourself if it intrigues you in any way. But I am just kind of giving what I feel with it, and yeah. So with yours specifically, we have on the 20th, 21st, the Sun opposite Neptune, and Neptune is your ruling planet, and we have Mercury opposite Neptune on the 25th. So those oppositions are usually more challenging to move through, but they can be beneficial. Like all things, there's pros and cons. It's how you wield it, it's how you look at it. But I did feel for the Sun opposite Neptune on the 20th, 21st, you might feel some lack of motivation in that period, like on that day, and just not yourself. You might get frustrated with people, or even yourself. Like there's just going to be some boredom, lack of motivation, some frustration, maybe some dissatisfaction with life. Now these things happen for a reason. They stir up things in us for a reason. So you might look at that, and it's how you wield it and what you take from it. And then for the Mercury opposite Neptune, there could be a chance for an argument that day. So do be careful. There could be misunderstandings. Try to be careful in the way you word things. Perhaps wait a day or two before you say something if you have something heated in your mind, because there could be a chance for a misunderstanding or even an argument. And yeah, let's go ahead and start here. We're starting off with tea leaf, then I have Botticelli for the tarot, the Enchanted Tarot to clarify, mystical healing reading cards, Gypsy Oracle cards, and lastly charms. So we'll go ahead and start here. I am feeling both of these months. This kind of came too. This is definitely a Fisher. I like to pull from where there's like little divots. I like to call them little fissures within the cards, because that's what I feel is meant for you. Yeah, the oracles of the past often were just above the, like you'd say, fissures for the earth, where there was a lot of times it was like near fault lines, because that's where these can occur more often, and they would breathe in a lot of those fumes, and the gases, is part of the visions that they would see. And so that's why I kind of go with the fissures with these cards. Quite a bit here. So this was more than I expected. So perhaps you'll feel that way in some way. Is this 5? Yeah, okay. So we have May have significance. We have September, so this month could have some serious significance for you, and January. So I always like to, these could be having to do with the past. You know, something could have occurred within one of those months. They could be surfacing and you're dealing with it. These months could have significance in the way that, you know, something could occur within these months upcoming. There could be significance just in the way, like, it could be a signifier for you. Like, perhaps you got married in January. Perhaps there's a special birthday to you within September. You know, it's all varied. However it resonates for you. And we have marriage. Interesting, because I did just say some of you may have gotten married in January. Some of you may get married in January. And it could be any of those months. I just think it's interesting that I said that and then that occurred. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and grab the rest. We have fire, strong emotion, passionate love or hate. So there can be anger with actually both of those transitions. I did say frustration. But yeah, I even got like being frustrated with people. Like, you might get just frustrated with the world, with people in general. So that might be something you're working through. But also passion. Like, you're also probably feeling some passion. So it's like how you wield it. Fox, shrewdness, and resourcefulness. Perhaps I also got, like, if you get creative, you know, let those feelings pour into something creative and it might really wield it into something good. Shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So that right there, yeah. Like being resourceful, using that energy for something good and being creative. And foxes are very ingenuitive. So I think you will feel that. We have seahorse, family matters. Some of you might get frustrated with your family specifically. We have flowers, happiness. Know that you will have happiness. You know, throughout these feelings that might occur within the month, try to remember that these energies are temporary. And you're going to move through them, and they're there for a reason. So embrace that, wield it into something positive, and know that you will get this happiness. We have fair man, dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. You know, it doesn't. I always think with those, with these types of cards that come out. There's like, you know, a few different ones. I always never take it, you know, it doesn't have to literally be that. However it resonates with you. You know, it could be fair man as in like somebody who is fair. Like as in fair, just, a gentleman. So, you know, it's going to be different for everybody. I just felt the need to say that. It doesn't have to be like literally. Teardrops, great personal sorrow. So I think this is having to do with that energy you're moving through as well. You know, trust that you are going to have happiness. This too shall pass. This is temporary. And you're moving through these emotions, these feelings for a reason. Elephant, a long journey with either physical or mental will leave you wiser at the end. So you will gain wisdom throughout this, as hard as it may be to move through. You know, it's hard because there is wisdom to be gained. You know, challenges give us wisdom. We have horse, short journey. So know that it won't be too long. It's temporary, it'll pass. You know, in the long haul, you're going to take what you learn from it, but this is very temporary. It's going to pass quickly. We have dog, close up, pleasure with a close friend. So make sure you give yourself a break throughout this month. Give yourself grace since it is going to be a little bit challenging. Have some fun with a friend. That'll help ease some of the tension up. Grasshopper, situations in the balance that require careful handling. Okay, so I'm thinking this has to do with the Mercury opposite Neptune. Handle carefully, be careful when you say something, how you say something, how you talk to yourself, how you compose yourself. That can be, in public, at work, online. Knowing when to say something, when to not. It requires careful handling and being very mindful about it. Alright, let's go ahead and get your cards here. Interesting too, because with your meditation I did get, I got like this tool, the L-shaped tool that can like measure for corners, I believe, when you work in cabinetry or with woodwork somehow. And measuring how you interact with others is what I got with that. And also seeing things from a different angle. Perhaps you often, when you interact with others, only see from your angle. So it's trying to see from their view, but also just seeing other things from different angles, being ingenuitive in the way that you deal with things. And yeah, the reason I'm saying all these is because I do feel like it kind of goes with this grasshopper one. And also with that, I got with that tool. Have you gotten manipulative? That's something I think you're going to be self-reflecting on. And how is this affecting you if you have? Of course, not everybody here is, and there's no judgment in this place. I think we all go there sometimes. Sometimes it's on a subconscious level and we don't even mean to. Especially when you're younger, when you're kids. Kids do that a lot without really meaning to or realizing. I think throughout the toddler years or child years, you try to work your angle on things and get what you want, and you might not, as a kid, you don't really realize, I don't think you mean to do it in a way that is, you don't really see the harm in it, and I don't think you do it in a way that's all you know is you just really want this thing, and you don't even see it as you're working your angles. It's just what you're doing to try to get what you want. But so I think we've all done it. I think we all go there, and I think, and it's of course adults do it. It's not just children. It's just that's how I'm saying, we've all done it, whether we can admit to it or not. But I do think it's something that you just kind of are looking at. I think this opposition is going to make you look at it. I don't know, I just got that with that angle. That was one of the ways that it came up to interpret what that angle was. But, oh, that was interesting. It slid and then it fell. So, sorry, I had to grab that. Okay. Interesting, yeah. So, the Seven of Swords can have to do with deceit or manipulation. And it is in reverse, so it's I think you're trying to not. If you have been that way, you're trying to not. If you're noticing when people do it to you as well, I think it's very heightened within you right now, just that that being a thing is just heightened within you. Whether it's you doing it, other people doing it, it's just something you're observing. And angles just in general. It's interesting too, because 7 is sort of an angle, you know? So, neat. Okay, so yeah, as I said, we pretty much went over this card. I think you're really looking at that, how people manipulate each other, and you're trying to work through that to better yourself and to accept that people are that way as well. You know, it's just part of the human condition. As I said, children, you know, often do it, and people don't always realize they're doing it. So I think it's important to accept that people do this. Don't let it affect you, you know, don't let it get in your head. But also, if you have noticed this in yourself, it's something you're changing and wanting to better. But also, yeah, you're just also having a lot of realizations. A lot of observancies, let's put it that way. I think you're in a place of observation. We have, you know, this could also be in your household with the family matters. But it's something you're working through now, working it out and working through it. We have the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, and we have the 8 of Cups in the reverse. So it is a challenge to walk away from this, because I think perhaps you feel unstable and unhinged. I did get that in your meditation. I got shiver me timbers. That phrase came in, which is kind of funny because, okay, it's not in this card, but I'm thinking in one of these cards, is it the 8 of Swords within this deck? The swords are, I saw this in a different card or a different reading for this month, and all of the swords are like at the center of these trees, in front of all the trees. So I did see that when I saw this, but yeah, I got shiver me timbers, but that you feel unstable and unhinged, which is why, like, that frustration and it's having to do with this energy right now, and it's happening for a reason, causing you to look at things and you know, it's just, but knowing that it's temporary, no, trust that it's temporary, you will move through this. That is coming a lot. I need to say that, you know, you really need to feel that and know that this too will pass. But yeah, you feel unstable, unhinged, frustrated, and it's because a part of you wants to walk away from this situation, but you just feel stuck. Perhaps you are stuck in a household, still living at home, and you just feel like there's been manipulation going on, and you feel trapped there, and you don't feel a lot of support. You're feeling a lack of support and kind of alone in this. I think there is support there if you reach out. I think there are people who care about you and want to see you reach your happiness, that you will reach. You know, it's there for you, it's in the cards. Now, something I do feel the need to state is happiness is a choice. You know, it's how we view things. you know, seeing things from a different angle, a cup half full rather than half empty way of thinking, trying to stay positive and see the light. You know, of course, I think some people fear getting into that place because they want to stay in reality. They feel like it's unrealistic and that there's always going to be life circumstances, and so they feel weighed down by those like things. But no, happiness is a choice. You can choose to be happy despite those life circumstances, and that life will always have its downs, and knowing that it'll always have its ups. And it, you know, you can stay realistic. There is blind hope. There is getting lost in fantasy. Maybe you've seen that, and so you're fearful to be positive because you don't want to be unrealistic with it. But you can be realistic and still choose to be happy. Everybody is unique, so whatever experience, whatever you may have seen with people with that isn't necessarily the way it has to go. And you can choose to be happy but still, you know, touch ground, you know, with them, be in your seat of sanity. I think you're a very logical person, which is not always the case with Pisces. Everybody's different, but I think you appreciate logic. Some of you might be fearful because of that, because you're a Piscean. You can feel unhinged a lot because, you know, Pisces kind of goes through each sign in a way that is like they have an understanding for a lot of people. They might be into psychology, they might be an empath. Pisces also just is about like the wheel of the zodiac and all of the different signs. Their symbol even shows, it's like the two crescents, which is kind of like the moon and how the moon goes through its phases. But there's like two lines going through that, and I've always seen that kind of as like passing through each like sign with the zodiac. I mean, the moon does that. So yeah, you might feel unstable a lot because of that, or get scattered a lot, and it might make you feel like you have to grip onto logic to a degree that you get creative blocks, or you feel stuck because you don't want to, you get boggled down by realism to where you focus so much on certain things that it causes you to forget that each day is a clean sweep, and we can choose to be happy and not get rained on with all of the stuff. I think also Pisceans can feel all of that emotion, which I relate to. I'm a Cancerian, I have a Pisces moon, and I definitely get in my feels quite a bit, and I know how it can feel overwhelming at times, or just too much. And know that you can be happy. You will be happy, and try to choose to be happy now. So let's go ahead and clarify. Spirit guides and angels, please clarify here for the beautiful Pisceans watching. Can you clarify here for Pisces? Does Pisces need to know? Interesting, okay. Okay, we have the Prince of Wands. So I think that's that frustration. And these oppositions coming in. So it's kind of like you're going to feel a little bit unhinged in this period. So do try to ride it out. Take time to reflect. Go slow. Try not to be haste. Handle with care. Where did we see that? Situations in the balance that require careful handling. So do be mindful. Two of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so I'm definitely getting to kind of right now is a time to self-reflect. Like, do take time with your friends, have some fun, but because you're feeling this energy, you're gonna take time to, keep to yourself a little bit in the way so that you can handle carefully, so you don't just burst out in your anger and frustration. We have Temperance in reverse, so yeah, you're feeling unhinged. Four of Pentacles in reverse. So part of this is because of feeling stuck in the situation, and because of that, there may have been like some losses that you've faced, things that you were forced to let go of, which is adding to this like frustration. You're being called to look at it and to self-reflect within that. Feel out your feelings. And we have the Empress. So this is all again like going to give you wisdom and ultimately really beneficial for you. It's just difficult. This is for your highest good. Also, don't I see you being confident within yourself. So like, even though you're moving through these things, it's not going to affect your confidence too much, which is beautiful. That is like good to be in that energy. I think that says right there, you are going to handle this carefully and nurture yourself throughout it. But yeah, sometimes I think you're gonna have to put yourself first in some situation that you might face within this month. And that's important. We have Four of Wands. So yeah, again, there's something that you haven't been able to let go of because you felt this instability. It's like you haven't felt like you could move forward. You may even feel like you're moving backwards. We have a lot of birds here, so again, wisdoms are being given to you. You're in a highly observant place to help you figure this out. We have Two of Pentacles in the reverse. So you're definitely going to decide something by the end of the month. Did I even read this card? With Four of Spades, Four of Swords. That is taking some time for rest. So I think, this whole month is going to be kind of about rest and handling things carefully, caring for yourself and recuperating after a time of turmoil. But you are going to rest, and it is going to bring up some kind of decision that you have to make. We have King of Swords. So you are going to hold on to this logic, Allow yourself to flow and feel things, because you have definitely learned a lot about how to feel through your emotions and to keep the logic. So, allow yourself to be happy. Know that it isn't all fantasy. Manage your expectations. I see you doing that. King of Swords is very good at managing expectations, being diplomatic, which it looks like is something you're continuing to learn throughout this month, but you master it. But yeah, you will stay grounded in your choosing happiness. It's not going to be just fantasizing and wishing for happiness. You're going to just do things that bring you some happiness. Hang out with friends and doing what gives you happiness and making that for yourself. We have 6 of Wands. It is in the reverse here, so I'm thinking that has to do with this frustration. There might be a setback, especially with 4 of Wands and the resistance. It's because I feel like you want to walk away from something, but you can't right now. It's just not time yet. There might be more to learn from the situation, and it's just not time yet. That it's out of your control. The universe maybe has some more lessons for you within that, but you are learning. You are eventually going to get there. It's just delayed. We have the Ace of Wands, so you are going to get motivated again also, if that's been a concern, because I know we did see that could be something you faced with these transits, is a lack of motivation. Know that by the end of the month it will start to come back. And I think that is also choosing to be happy. They're reaching for this torch. Despite whatever you're facing, you're choosing to be happy, especially the 10 of Swords here. It's you're done letting this burden you. And even if you're still I think that's been part of the lesson, is to learn to be happy despite things out of your control, despite the circumstance. Moving through the frustration, deciding to be happy despite it, and eventually, because sometimes it's you have to learn to be happy. Okay, it's not about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. I think that's been a lesson for you in this phase of your life. And so you will eventually, things are temporary. You're going to get out of this situation, but the reason you're still in the situation is because you're still learning that. You're still learning to choose to be happy anyway. And the Fool. So yeah, you will be on a new journey. You will set this behind you and take off on a new journey. You're going to learn this lesson. Let's go ahead and get your mystical healing cards. Spirit guides and angels. Messages for Pisces, please. Messages for this wonderful Pisces. We have listen to your guardian angel. So you're being guided through this. I think this is also about listening to yourself. You know, giving to yourself. If you've been dealing with manipulation, somebody who's manipulative and you kind of are stuck dealing with this for now, you know, making sure you give to yourself, give yourself some extra care and nurture. You can't change people, but you can change how you deal with it. Yeah, it's reminding me of that, like, saying in psychology, you can't change others, but you can change the way that you see it. I can't think of the exact quote, but I'll put it up there. But so listening to yourself, trying to see things from different angles, being understanding of why this person may be in this place. You know, trying not to force them to change. I think that's important, and instead focusing on what you can change and things within yourself. You know, things perhaps that how you've been conditioned by this, and dealing with your triggers, and maybe it's been triggering you and you're looking at how to handle that so you're not triggered by it. And let's get your Gypsy Oracle cards. But yeah, I did see all the birds, so with that it was like you're getting wisdom through this. Listen to your guardian angel, you're being guided through this. They're definitely whispering at you and trying to help you process this and handle it with care. Okay. We have joyfulness. So again, choosing to be happy. Also going out with your friends, having some fun. We have foe. I think this is perhaps that person who might be manipulative. And I think the reason I got, like, maybe you've picked up things. Maybe you sometimes find yourself being manipulative because you've felt spiteful out of, like, going through this and dealing with this situation, dealing with this person. So it could have conditioned you in ways that you've picked up on some of their behaviors. And I see you looking at that and not being a foe to yourself out of it. You know, giving yourself grace. You've had to deal with this situation and it's been rough. And, you know, understanding, like, they could have picked up on this from somewhere, or, you know, there's some grief or something that they've experienced that's caused them to be in that place. So you're very much reflecting on all of that and, you know, giving grace to the whole situation and choosing to be happy despite it. Soldier. Yeah, I think you've had to be a soldier. And perhaps that's, like, made you gone cold a little bit. So I think that's something you're looking at, and allowing yourself to connect to your emotions. And we have journey, and we had so much about journey here. Long journey, short journey, knowing things will pass, and help you in the long haul, on the long journey. But also with the Fool here, you know, you're going to be entering a new phase of life. And you're going to really enjoy it because of what you've learned here. Alright, let's get your chart. Okay, we have the Swan. So handling with grace. You know, you're handling the situation with grace, even though you might feel chaotic under the surface, you know. Great, I don't want to just, you know, take what they say, but a great tarot reader on here, always mentions the paddling of the feet under the water, but how graceful the swan looks. So it's like, I think you feel chaotic under the surface, especially this month, but you are going to handle the situation gracefully. Forewarned is forearmed. I just got that phrase as well. So it's like, yeah, look into these transits. I think it'll help you kind of detach from like getting bogged down by these emotions and help you know that it's temporary and it'll pass, that this is just something you're meant to go through and feel out, and you will make it to the other side. We have the butterfly, and it's to transform you. Wow, baby. Okay, so we saw something with baby in here. Did we not have crib? Was that the other reading? Perhaps it was actually, never mind, it was in the Aquarius reading. There could be news of a baby. This is also, though, just reminding me of what I had said about children. Everybody goes through that manipulating, so don't feel shameful about it. You've matured, you're observing it, and you know how you may have been conditioned by it. And having understanding for, those who you've been, dealing with that with as well. Knowing that, like, they might have had their own stuff they've gone through. And we have the snail, so that's about taking it easy. But I also want to note, the snail kind of looks like, it's got citrus. Its shell kind of reminds me of, it's also kind of reminding of the Pisces symbol, but it reminds me of citrus when it's like cut into like a lemon, which is about happiness. Okay, so it'll be a slow journey as well to develop, like learning how to choose to be happy, rewiring your brain to see the cup half full rather than half empty, and giving yourself grace. So take it easy, go slow, but also, about handling with care. Go slow, that'll help you handle with care. We did get temperance in reverse. Yeah, this actually kind of looks like it as well. So, try to give yourself temperance, like balancing out, slowing down, meditation, and that'll help you. We have the flower here, which is about growth and blossoming, and with this rose on the key, it's like you hold the key to that. You are the one that is able to make those changes to really allow yourself to mature. But also marriage here. There's roses on this card, so there's significance on that. And we have the snowflake, which is reminding me of January. It also reminds me of Pisces in the sense of, all of the different signs and empathy. Have empathy for yourself through these challenges, but also, I guess that'd be sympathy. Have sympathy for yourself through that, but also, have empathy for those who there is a challenge with. I think you deeply care for this person, though there may be a coldness there. Perhaps you've gone cold on they've gone cold on you, you have them. It could be one or the other, or you're both in that place. Perhaps they've just been cold within their life in the sense like they've numbed a lot out. So have compassion, have empathy, and understanding. All right. I think you already do, but just it's a reminder of that while you're in those frustrating moments. But we will leave this here. I thank you so much for being a part of my journey and welcoming me to be a part of your journey as well. And until next time, lovely folk.